Eva stood before the antique mirror in her grandmother's attic, mesmerized by the subtle shimmer that danced across its surface. The air was heavy with dust, and the house was silent, save for the occasional creak of settling wood. It was in these moments of quiet solitude that the mirror seemed alive, whispering secrets only Eva could perceive. One evening, as twilight bathed the attic in a golden glow, Eva noticed something peculiar. Her reflection didn't mimic her movements. Instead, it moved independently, as if it had a will of its own. Her heart raced as she hesitated, then reached out to touch the glass. Her fingers didn't meet the cold, hard surface she expected. Instead, they passed through as though the mirror were water. She stumbled forward, the world around her rippling like a pond disturbed by a stone. On the other side was another world, a mirror of her own, yet undeniably different. She found herself standing in a vibrant, sunlit park. There, she saw another version of herself laughing with friends, her face radiant with joy and love. It was a stark contrast to Eva's own lonely and isolated existence. A pang of longing and envy gripped her heart. Over the following weeks, Eva returned to the attic, unable to resist the pull of the mirror. Each time, she discovered a new reflection of herself, stepping into worlds that showcased alternate lives. In one, she was a celebrated scientist on the verge of a groundbreaking discovery. In another, she was a wandering nomad, her eyes hollow with sorrow, weighed down by a life of loss. The more she explored, the more fragmented her sense of self became. Memories from these alternate realities began to bleed into her mind. She felt the thrill of triumphs she had never earned and the ache of tragedies she had never endured. The boundaries between her world and these others grew increasingly thin, threatening to dissolve completely. Desperate for answers, Eva sought out the version of herself that seemed most content. She found her in a world of peace and harmony, where every version of Eva existed as a unified consciousness. This Eva, serene and glowing with wisdom, explained her purpose. "I have been orchestrating the convergence of all realities," she said, her voice calm yet unsettling. "Together, we will become something greater, a singular being with the collective wisdom and experiences of countless lives." Eva's stomach churned. "But at what cost?" she asked, her voice trembling. "We are losing nothing," the other Eva replied with a serene smile. "We are becoming whole." But Eva felt only dread. She realized that this convergence would erase the individuality of every version of herself, reducing her to a fragment of a larger, incomprehensible whole. To preserve her sense of self, she would have to stop the convergence even if it meant severing her ties to the other realities. With a heavy heart, Eva raised a hammer she had brought with her and shattered the mirror. The sound echoed through the attic, sharp and final. As the shards scattered across the floor, the connection to the alternate realities was severed. In the silence that followed, Eva felt the echoes of her other lives fade, leaving her alone with her thoughts. She knelt beside the broken pieces, each shard reflecting a different fragment of her existence. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered into the empty attic, "I'm sorry." Though the mirrors no longer spoke to her, their memories lingered. Eva knew she would never be the same, forever haunted by the lives she had touched but could never truly live. As she descended the attic stairs for the last time, she carried with her the weight of infinite possibilities and the sorrow of a singular choice. In her heart, Eva understood that existence was a fragile tapestry, woven from countless threads of reality. Sometimes, to preserve oneself, it was necessary to unravel the very fabric of being. And so, Eva walked away, leaving the mirror's remnants behind a shattered portal to infinite lives, now silent but forever etched in her soul.